Hello one and welcome to Battle of the Beasts All Generation episode number 78. I'm Adam and today we are kicking off round 2 with the first battle. I think that's kind of obvious. If we're kicking off round 2 we go to the first battle. So up first we have 2 competitors, each going against each other to make a spot in round 3. These 2 beasts I would say will put an interesting fight together, considering both of these beasts were semi-finalists in their own respective tournament. So, representing Series 1, where it all began, the Destroyer of Targro, no, the Destroyer of Score in round 1. It is book number 1, Ferno, the Fire Dragon. Versus, representing Series 22, the Lost Beast of Mackay, the Slayer of Targro, the Arctic Menace in episode 61. Had to double check that one. It is book number 3, Jurog, Hammer of the Jungle. I may have forgot to say what episode Ferno defeated Score, but that's because I forgot and I'm not gonna check. So we got a battle of 2 semi-finalists here. Both of these beasts I expected to do well in this tournament, but I didn't expect one of them was going to have to die here. Now we're going to go to the stats now, but first we need to think of a battle arena. For round 2 we're going to do it, we'll do round 2 in the combat arena, and then to go along with tradition we'll do a round where it won't be in the combat arena. That'll be round 3. But round 2 we're going to have in the combat arena, and the arena will be let's go with a jungle arena. This may give Jurog the advantage in the jungle, but Jurog the disadvantage as well. But I'm going with the jungle arena because I have a plan. Okay, now let's get to the stats. Ferno the Fire Dragon. In caves in the south by Avantia's winding river lurks Ferno the Fire Dragon. Ferno so enormous he has been mistaken for one of the mountains. The Fire Dragon patrols the river and makes sure that the southern towns of the kingdom are never flooded. Should the waters rise, he can use his clawed feet to build protective dams. Their sudden appearances confuse the locals, but they are very grateful for them. Abilities for Ferno is Fire Breath, Flight, Enhanced Strength, Enhanced Speed, Enhanced Durability, Natural Weaponry, Limited Camouflage, and Poison Immunity. Weaknesses are Enchantments and Durability Limits. Now moving on to Jurog now. Then we go to that page in the book, in the Holy Bible, as I call it. Jurog, Hammer of the Jungle. There we are. That'll have to do. This gigantic 8-limbed monkey beast can rip whole trees from the ground. His matted fur is purple in colour, and his jaws are lined with hideous sharp teeth. His tail is tipped with a spiked mace made of precious red steel. Abilities are Multiple Arms, Natural Weaponry, Enhanced Strength, Enhanced Durability, and Tail. And weaknesses is Tail Removal. His tail also is in the form of a mace. That is classed in the natural weaponry. So with that, Ferno versus Jurog. Let's get into this. So as the chamber doors open, Jurog runs out and starts swinging around the forest, trying to find camouflage. Ferno bursts through the sky exit and sees the jungle before him, in which he decides that he's going to burn away with the forest, get rid of it almost entirely. So he builds up a bunch of fire in his stomach and he spits it out, going over the entire greenery, burning the forest almost immediately to the ground. Jurog, enraged by this, knocks down as many trees as he can, picks up as many as he can and chucks them at the fire dragon, which just sat down on the perch. Ferno sees those trees coming towards him and he whips his tail out and smashes them aside, takes flight and starts breathing fire directly towards Jurog. Jurog picks up a nearby rock, using that as his protection, and chucks that towards Ferno. Ferno sees that and is able to not have it hit his neck, but it hits his body, which Ferno feels the pain for, and Jurog instantly greets Ferno by chucking more trees and rocks towards him. Ferno incinerates the trees, and only the charred parts of it only hits him, but it doesn't affect him that much. The rocks he's dodging as best as he can. He comes down to the ground, and picking up a nearby rock, he chucks that towards Jurog, which Jurog catches with one hand, balances between all the others, and throws that right back at him. Jurog then bounds towards Ferno, getting ready to attack him. So yeah. Okay. Pause. I am trying to work on my hesitations here, because I keep saying and ah, and it's annoying me now that I'm paying full attention to what I'm saying, and I still keep saying those sounds. It really annoys me. And there are some people who watch these videos who get a bit irritated by them as well. Thank you for telling me. But not going to say who you are, but yeah. But anyway, continue. So Jurog is bounding towards Ferno. Ferno is ready to take the attack that Jurog's about to give him. Jurog stops in his tracks and whips his tail out towards Ferno. Ferno greets Jurog's tail by biting down on it and pulling at the tail, pulling Jurog off his feet. Ferno then takes to the skies, pulling Jurog up. Jurog tries to get his balance and starts climbing his own tail to get up to Ferno, in which he wraps his arms around Ferno's head and tries constricting his airflow, which Ferno only responds by waving his head around, trying to shake Jurog off. Jurog's able to get on the back of Ferno, and prying Ferno's mouth open, he's able to release his tail, and he wraps his tail around Ferno's neck, pulling it as tight as he can, constricting Ferno's airflow. Ferno then decides to dive bomb straight to the ground, trying to aim to land on his back, whilst Jurog is there. Jurog catches wind of this and tries to climb to the other side of Ferno, where Jurog will be on top. Ferno continues to roll over again, trying to land on top of Jurog, but Jurog's trying to land on top of Ferno. It keeps going on until it smashes with Ferno on bottom whilst Jurog is on the top. When the dust clears, Jurog releases his grip off Ferno whilst Ferno gets up. Ferno, in anger, roars at Jurog and breathes fire directly towards him, whilst Jurog bounds out of the way, wraps his tail around Ferno's mouth, shutting off that fire. And Ferno lifts up his claws and starts scratching at the tail, trying to make Jurog release his grip of it. But Jurog's able to make his way over to him and pin his claws down with 2 hands, and using his 4 remaining hands, he's grabs onto Ferno's head with 2 and Ferno's neck with the other, and with one sudden jolt he tries to crack Ferno's neck. But he heard a crack, but he didn't know where it was coming from. Ferno then gives a slight roar or a slight sound that sounds like a chuckle. Jurog, confused by this, realizes that Ferno's tail is not pinned down. By the time Jurog realizes this, Ferno's tail has wrapped around both of Jurog's legs and hoisted him up, where he slams Jurog into the ground, and this time pinning Jurog down, he breathes fire directly on Jurog, burning away Jurog's fur. Jurog is roaring in pain whilst he's trying to try and get himself back together to try and beat Ferno. But Ferno is way ahead of that. He bites into Jurog's tail whilst Jurog is still pinned down by his claw. Ferno pulls Jurog's tail and snaps it in half. Jurog is roaring in pain, and Ferno decides to just keep breathing fire over Jurog. Whilst Jurog is slowly barbecuing, Ferno is digging his claws into Jurog's back, trying to end his suffering quickly. And that's exactly what it does. Eventually, Jurog's screeching stops, and Ferno takes a step back from his handiwork and makes his way back to his chamber, ready for round 3. So with that, Ferno has won, Jurog has lost. If you think Jurog should have won, please in the comments below why you think that. How are my words final and Ferno's moving on. Now, if we ignore how the fans may have reacted if I said that Ferno lost, the reason why I gave Ferno the victory here is because I believe Ferno is, whilst they're both giant beasts, I believe Ferno is still the larger beast. And Jurog can be a bit stubborn at times or ignorant, where he focuses on what he sees as the main threats, but then he can forget about what else can be used as a weapon, meaning he forgot about Ferno's tail, and right before he could get the kill on Ferno, Ferno was able to get the slip on him. Jurog then tried to fix everything, but ultimately Ferno came out on top. Jurog's ability and multiple limbs could help, but unfortunately Ferno's sheer amount of battle experience has outweighed what Jurog has done. So with that, Ferno's won. Did you like what you saw? No? Ferno's won. And with that being said, that's all for this time. If you like what you saw, if you like, leave a comment, don't forget to subscribe, press this little notification bell down in the corner below, and I'll see you next time.